how much does a team and a dressing room need leaders? So let me tell you why, and let's get right into it. So my team at the moment, because the camera's reversed, I keep pointing the wrong side. My team at the moment have got the eldest squad average age in the Premier League. It's now time to let some of those players go. We need a massive overhaul. But we've got a situation this week where we've just let go several players, one of which, Fabianski, our goalkeeper, who's age 41, but still a good backup, still a good second goalkeeper, and makes a lot less mistakes than Areola. Some would even suggest that perhaps he should be the number one still, although I'd like Kelleher off of you if we could have him. Thank you. We've let go Vladimir Kufal, who's been a good servant, a good right back. You know what you're going to get from him. You're always going to get a lot of passion, and he's always going to be hard work. He's that kind of, scrappy, sort of hard-working, solid player that's going to give you a 6 out of 10 at least. And we've let Aaron Cresswell go. 11 years a servant, intelligent on the ball. When I was over there recently for the Spurs game, he was things you don't see on the cameras. He was organising the back line, talking to younger players through it, been a mentor for Ollie Scholes, who you'll know from Footy Manager. But we've let him go with no real goodbye, no testimonial. Yes, he's approaching his 35th year. We've also just offered Mikel Antonio a short-term contract to see how he recovers from his car crash going into next season at age 36. Some people are saying, out with the old, in with the new, and bring them down. I'm saying there's only Cresswell and Antonio were the only two players left from the Upton Park days. We've got not a lot of people that know what it's like to be playing for the badge and putting on a West Ham shirt. Are we getting the average age down, or are we getting rid of experience and leaders in a dressing room? And how important are they? And just to tack onto that, on a previous episode, you spoke about the merits of Brighton bringing through younger players, having players they scout and sending out on loan, but having them under the mentorship of a Lallana, a Welbeck, a Milner. So leaders, do we just get out all the older players and bring the youth through to bring the average age down on stats? Or are we missing something?
I'd say you're missing something there. I think that's don't get me wrong. It depends what he's asking for. It depends on his aspirations. If he's saying, listen, I want to be a regular first team starter every week, and you've got other plans to bring him in, bring other players in, yeah, you can talk to him, say you can fight for your place. Yeah, fine. But I think that's mental to take away leaders in the group. But don't forget, most football teams have a leadership group now. It's not a captain like it used to be back in the day. Club captain was the enforcer. It's a leadership group of 5 or 6 players. Who's in your leadership group now? You know what I mean? Like, who's going to be the ones that set the example? Who's the ones that your generals on the pitch? You don't need the managers to have to scream and shout at you. I remember when you had Avram Grant as your manager, and Carlton Cole said that Scott Parker took the halftime team talk, and it was like, that's a leader there. That is the person as a player. You know what? I can listen to him on the sideline, whatever I want, but he's here with me. He's in the trenches with me. Well, otherwise, you just play youth players. You just play youth players all the time, and like, right, you know what? You're fast, you're lightning. You go and play. It's not how football works. You need that, like the dark arts, a little off the balls, the chat. COVID should have opened people's eyes to it. When we were watching the COVID games, me personally, when I was watching the Liverpool COVID games, Jordan Henderson never fucking shut up. But it was so good because then people rely on the information. He's trusted what he's saying. You could see there's a interview with Ben Foster, and he's saying even Salah, who'd have that magnificent season before, 40-odd goals, to then go, right, he's looking at Henderson. Where do you want me? Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? That's the respect, the leadership on the pitch. That's lead by example. As a player, as a manager, you can't always lead by example. You can't go on the pitch and nail someone. You need it. I'll give you another example before you jump in. The Arsenal PSG Champions League game, the second leg, right? First 50 minutes, Arsenal were peppering, right? I don't know if you've seen the game. Did you see the save that Donnarumma made from Odegaard?
No, I was working.
Odegaard, edge of the box. They've been peppering the goal. Donnarumma made two good saves already. Odegaard, edge of the box, on the half volley, through a couple of bodies. Donnarumma's got down, outrageous save, tipped it wide. Didn't just get up. He was very clever, stayed down, pretended like he pulled his shoulder, slowed the pace of the game down. Can't take the goalkeeper off from a corner. And I pointed this out to my Arsenal fan we were watching it with, and he went, yeah, he has, hasn't he? He's not going to go off. He's fine. He's just stopped your momentum. Now you got to wait for the corner. Let you PSG regroup. Clever stuff like that is why you need experience, and that's what I think you'd be missing out on by letting all these players go. And it's one of the things I think Chelsea miss out on.
So 2 bits of context. First of all, amusingly, you said about Avram Grant there and Scott Parker. Did you ever hear the team bus story about Avram Grant? No.
Oh, the one where he got sacked and they weren't going to let him on the bus? Yeah. Ridiculous. So
for people that haven't heard it, Cameron Brady decided to go down and sack Avram Grant. I think we were away at Wigan. Sacked him at fucking half time. And then said, basically, you're not coming on the team bus. You're not coming on the coach back to London. And they were going to just leave him in Wigan stranded and sort of said, find your own way home. It's not worked out. And it was actually Scott Parker that had to stand up and say, this is wrong. You know, we win together, we lose together. You know, we've travelled up here. You don't do it. And had to convince them basically to let him on the team bus to come back to London, which is classless. But to give you a little bit of context, what you said there about depends what Cresswell in particular wants, whether he wants first team football and whatnot. Would it change your opinion if I told you he has started? But first of all, he's adapted his position. He doesn't have the legs to be a left back anymore, but he is good on the ball, and he is the last couple of seasons been playing brilliantly as a left centre back, left of a back three. He brings the ball out, he supports down the wing, the ball's up the line. He's great with the set pieces and the deliveries. Better than Ward-Prowse. James won't pass forward, but he's adapted so that he's not reliant on his pace so much. And would it change the context for you if I was to tell you he started 6 of the last 7 games?
No, because you can have them spells. Don't forget you've got Agard coming back. You'll have Kilman, Todibo still. You still got to get rid of him. You've got to find a buyer. Yeah. So, and Agard was a big money signing. I bet he's not on pennies. So it all depends. If Cresswell wanted to stay and you've done, you're not needed, that's madness. For a player who is not only adapted to the position, I'm guessing he's got a wand of a left.
Yeah,
got to be.
Absolutely.
Got to have a wand.
There is no other left.
But no, as a mentor for another player coming through, playing right next to him, experience who can talk to the player, but can also organise from the back. I've said this now as a centre back. Well, as someone who can play centre back,
100 million centre back.
Yeah. But the hardest part about being a centre back is the communication. If you can communicate, you can get away with being slow. You can get away with being bad in the air. You can get away with all that. If you can communicate and read, you can look like a welder, especially playing in a 3, because you just play to other people's strengths. Yeah. Ball's gone out wide, you go. Right, if I'll go cover me, I'll wait for him to knock the ball past me, knowing you're there. I'm just going to block your run. I ain't going to get out of the way. It's just clever defending. Communication is key. So to get rid of someone with experience who can see, and it's not just what I've noticed as well, especially playing back in England, there's so many players that can see the problem, but either won't say it or can't say it the right way. And it's crazy that people can't take the message as just do this. Well, why am I doing this? Like, why are you arguing? I've asked you to do something on my team. I'm not doing it to hinder you. I'm doing it for your benefit as the team's benefit. Just fucking do it.
I'm thinking of someone straight away from our old days.
We've got a couple of them.
Yeah. Finally, does it seem strange to you that, as far as I know, Cresswell wanted to stay in and decided to get rid of him because of his age, despite what you've just said there, the qualities he can offer? But the day after he said his goodbyes, we've decided to take a gamble and renew Mikel Antonio's contract, who had a horrific car crash in December where he broke both his legs, including his femur, and we don't know if he's ever going to play again. But we've offered him a year or so older a contract to stay around. If we're so desperate to get this average age down, what's that about?
Doesn't make business sense to
No.
me personally. It doesn't make business sense. I'm guessing Antonio would be like quite a high earner at the club.
Yep,
So
100K plus.
yeah, so that doesn't make any sense to me. Not when you could literally go, you could just see 3 teams have just been relegated, right? Why would you not just go, you know what? Liam Delap will probably be 60 grand a week. Go and spend the 30 million. You've got a player who is proven. Go in now. Look at all the clubs going in for players now and getting it done. Fringpom, Huyson, Cunha. Just go and go, you know what? Ipswich, I know we don't want to distract you, but last game of the season, blah, blah, blah. There's a 30 million. Want to speak to Delap. Get it done early. Get it done. It just goes and listen. Tell you what, we'll give you a 65 million release clause. There you go. Job done. You're going to double your money then. Rather than giving 100 grand a week to a player that you don't know will play again. Like, and it might. I understand giving him something as a loyal member of the club or whatnot, but you can't do that to one and then go to Cresswell. Well, I know you've been playing again, but yeah, see you later, mate. Not interested. Souček, I know you've still been playing. Yeah, not interested. Sufal, I know you've still been playing. Yeah, not interested. See, that doesn't make any sense. If I'm a Cresswell or a Sufal there saying, hold on, but I know he's your record goal scorer in the Premier League, but he's hurt. If you're going to do that to support him, completely understand that. Get that. But come on, be fair. I'm playing. I'm giving something to the team. That doesn't make any business sense.
So I'll pose a question. Let us know in the comments. How important are leaders for the dressing room? Is the game different now with the leadership group, like Kanye said? Is it more about 4 or 5 senior players or players that take responsibility that can go and liaise with the manager? Or do you still need those older heads with experience that can do things off the ball and nurture the young players? Just one last little thing. I know the game's changed, but against Forest, they were kicking the shit out of Bowen. And there was nobody on there to kind of be an enforcer and look after him. Years ago, when Trevor Brooking was on the ball, Alan Devonshire was running down the wing, you had somebody chopped him up. You had Billy Bond straight over there, you know, putting his little reply in and even in the score and almost protecting those skillful players. It's changed. So let us know. Leadership, how important is it? Have West Ham done the right thing to be bringing the average age down, or do you need some of those leaders? Let us know, in fact, in the comments. Like and subscribe and let us know who's the leader in your team, past or present. Who are the leaders we've missed? Who are the proper leaders and what makes a leader and leadership quality? We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.